Fear is like a thick fog. When we look at it from a distance, it looks like a wall. But when you step inside, you see that it is nothing but air. The biggest fears in our lives usually collapse the moment we face them. Everyone thinks that successful people are not afraid. But the truth is that they have just learned to do great things with trembling hands. If your heart rate is high, it means that you are on the verge of a great growth. Today's video is about an earthworm who, being inside a cave, the echo of his voice brought an elephant, a tiger, and a leopard to their knees. But the ant faced him with his courage. Watch this video until the end and send it to your friends and subscribe to our channel. In a large, lush forest with towering trees, there was a large cave where a mouse lived. This mouse was very kind and helped all the animals as much as he could. When hunters set traps for the animals and the animals were caught in the trap, the mouse would tear the trap open for them and save them. All the animals loved the mouse. One day he went out to play with the rabbits and other mice. He crossed the river and went to the rabbits' den. He saw them playing together, so he joined them to play. Some other mice also came to play together. After playing, they got tired and each went to his nest to eat. The mouse went to find something to eat. He looked around for a long time until he saw walnut lying under a walnut tree. So he happily took it in his mouth and went to his nest to eat it there in peace. When he was crossing the river, he suddenly got scared and slipped, and the walnut fell from his mouth into the river. But he managed to get out of the water himself. He was very upset. The water took the walnut with it, and the mouse ran along the river on dry land, hoping that the walnut would get stuck on a rock or a tree root and the mouse could pick it up. But this did not happen. He returned to the cave, disappointed and tired, hoping that he would find something to eat. When he left the cave, he had covered the entrance with leaves so that no animal could enter. As soon as he reached the cave, he saw that the leaves had been moved. He suddenly became scared, and his breath caught in his throat. He shouted, "Has anyone entered my house?" But there was no answer. He shouted louder, "Has anyone entered the cave?" Suddenly, he heard a terrible sound from inside the cave. "I am the one who crushes the bones of a tiger and tramples an elephant." The mouse was afraid and said to himself, "How can a small creature like me face a big creature like him?" At that moment, a wolf was passing by. The mouse said to him, "Can you help me? Someone has occupied my nest and is very powerful." The wolf confidently said, "Yes, I will definitely help." Then he went to the cave and called out loudly, "Who is inside the cave?" That powerful voice shouted again, "I am the one who can crush the bones of a tiger and knock down an elephant." The wolf backed away in fear and told the mouse, "I can't do anything. He is too strong." Then he went away and hid behind a tree to see who was inside the cave. A few minutes later, a lion was passing by when the mouse called out to him and said, "Can you help me?" Seeing himself indebted to the mouse, he said, "Yes, of course. What happened?" The mouse said, "Someone has taken over my den and won't come out." Then the lion roared loudly and said, "If he has a powerful voice, then I am the king of the forest." He went to the door of the cave and asked, "Who is inside the cave?" But again, that powerful voice answered, "I am the one who crushes the bones of a tiger and crushes an elephant." Suddenly, fear entered the lion's body, and he said, "If he kills me, my honor will be lost to the animals." So he too was afraid and retreated. After a while, a tiger passed by. The mouse called him and told him the story. The tiger said, "Who dared to crush the bones of my own kind?" Suddenly, a voice came from inside the cave. "Do you also want your bones to be crushed like your own kind?" The tiger was frightened and quickly ran away. An hour later, an elephant was passing by. The mouse called out to him and told him the story. He ran quickly to the cave and asked who was inside the cave. The terrifying voice repeated the same answers again. The elephant was terrified and started to run away, as if the ground was shaking under his feet. A few minutes later, an ant came, having seen the elephant flee. He asked the mouse about the incident. The mouse explained everything to him, that the wolf, the lion, and the mouse, the tiger and the elephant, who were powerful, could not do anything and ran away in fear. So you cannot do anything either. The ant said, "Let me try it." The animals who could not do it were hiding behind the trees and were watching to see what the ant would do and laughing at him. They thought that the ant could not do anything. The ant called out in front of the cave, "Who is inside the cave?" That terrible voice answered him, but the ant was not afraid. He went a little further and shouted louder, "I am ready to fight you, so come out." This time the owner of the voice was afraid and slowly came out of the cave. All the animals were surprised to see him. He was just an earthworm whose voice was loud and terrifying because of the echo of the cave, causing everyone to panic. It was the ant who, with all his courage, was able to get it out of the cave. As Nelson Mandela said, "The brave is not the one who does not feel fear, but the one who conquers that fear." The only thing we have to fear is fear itself. And where fear ends, life begins. So start your life and share this video so that my friends can start their lives. If you want to grow 1% more every day, follow our channel.